There was a lot of mixed emotions my last season here at White County. I was super blessed to be able to be a part of making it to the state tournament and making it as far as we did.
They were all fantastic young men, and they worked really hard, and we had the struggles up and down through the season, but they came together come tournament time, and that's really what basketball is all about. Basketball is a tournament game. You have the first half of the season, you have Christmas tournaments, then you have the third leg of district play, and then you have the fourth leg of tournament, and they just they held together and got a little confidence, and just made a great run in the tournament. I'm Eric Mitchell, and I coach the White County boys basketball team. I've been here this is my 20th season. I'm originally from Pickett County and played basketball there. Played basketball at Tennessee Tech, and went back to coach there. Then went to coach at Loudon, and then wound up here 20 years ago. So it's been a good ride. Each and every year, the expectations at White County, the tradition through the years, with all the great players and great coaches they've had here, every time a young man puts on that jersey and plays, he's getting the other team's A game, because we are White County Sparta.
White County Sparta is known throughout the state for their basketball program. We have great other programs, of course, but they're known for their basketball program. Here, a lot of people, they say that we don't rebuild, we just reload each year. So, and that's true. And Coach Mitchell and his staff do a great job. I mean, it's like there's a few years you go, hey, I don't know about it. It's like last year. Everybody was saying, hey, I don't know about it, but Coach Mitchell and his staff, they work with those young men, and they pulled us off a state appearance.
They really had to work harder for what they accomplished, I feel like, than what the girls did, but they had the ability, and they had the want to go as far as they did.
The most memorable moment for me was winning our substate game that we played here. It was our last game that we get to play on our high school court for our seniors, and I remember on the inbounds play, handed off the trip after setting the screen, and him going off to hit the layup for us to win the game. And I remember the student section were down on the floor, and everybody just rushed on the floor. But I remember me and my Uncle Jordan, there's a picture of it that actually one of the Warrior Media students took. But it's like me and him hugging, because as soon as the game, the buzzer, he ran straight to me.
It was crazy. It was as loud as that's ever been a game played here, and exciting, to win on a last-second shot, and them get the ball back and heave it from half court, and you're sitting there watching the ball, and then the celebration begins. But the sub-state game at home, you got to have them at home, because you go on the road, you're probably not going to win. But it was just electric atmosphere, and I was just so proud for the kids, and the kids that didn't play. I mean, everybody's got a role on the team, and I was just so proud for those young men.
Growing up in the 90s, I got to see, the back-to-back state championships, and the girls all through the 90s were ranked in the nation and stuff, so I knew what the environment could be like. So to see it, especially with your own son out there, it was electric, and the Roy doing what the Roy does is pretty special.
It was a madhouse. People were. I would give anything if I had videoed it, but that gym filled up. From the time we opened the gates, that gym was full within 20 minutes. And that's unbelievable that many people could get in and get seated, but they were jockeying for seats that night, and it was a huge night. And it's huge every time you have a sectional game.
If I could go back and play one more game
over again for my entire high school career, it would without a question be the substate game. It was an amazing feeling. We had people gathered around the bleachers, pushed up against the railings because I couldn't find a place to sit. People standing, cheering the entire game. I remember talking to people right after the game that lost their voice, and I couldn't hear what they were saying because of how loud it was in the gym. There was always a bit of stress every time we stepped out on the court. You know, we had super high expectations our freshman year. People looked at us and thought that we would make it to the state tournament. Just watching our freshman games and JV games, it would be parents saying, oh, they can make it really far if they gain chemistry and play like a family. And that itself kind of put pressure on all of us because we didn't want to let the people in the community down. We wanted to show them that we really could make it to the state tournament.
I mean, there was a time where I ended up getting taken out of the starting rotation. There was a time where Tripp just wasn't scoring like he usually does. There was a time where Jake wasn't shooting how he does. Thomas Paul wasn't able to get to the basket. Christian was coming off the bench. I mean, there was times where he come in and done wonders for the team. There was also times where he just wasn't doing as much. Thomas Brock had shooting slumps too, but I mean, I feel like as a team we were able to keep ourselves going through that. We always made sure that we were keeping each other tied in, so even if like one of us wasn't shooting good or wasn't playing good on offense, we're trying to play good on defense and making sure that we're still doing something that's productive for our team.
They were motivated going in the tournament. We got to play at Tennessee Tech, and they had won the district there their junior year tournament, so we had the region there, and they just gelled together and played well. Their junior year, we had lost Grant Slant, Cade Clark, Tanner Paul, and they were all new, and it's kind of the same way this year. Unfortunately, everybody in our district is very, very strong. So, you know, we're going to have to beat people with, you know, hard play, defense, you know, and get knock down shots when we can. But it's going to be a learning year for sure. But we're very athletic. They play really hard. They're all really good kids. So that's the main thing. And we're White County, so expectations are there.
People are going to say, well, they've lost this kid and this student and this player, and they lost this one, and you know, are we going to have anyone that can step up and take their place? And we always do. You know, we always do have someone that comes in and you know, we find out that they're a player. And again, I'll contribute that to Coach Mitchell and his staff because they develop these players and turn them into you know, a great team.
I got no doubt that everybody will be there and we'll have a good time and support them, win or lose.